Welcome to the Game Show. And here's the star of our show, Ronnie the Day. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Good afternoon. Well, I guess good evening to all of you that are on the East Coast. But yeah. For everyone else, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Game Show. Well, this is to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Game Show Network. We are having a special series of shows right here on my YouTube channel. So we're so glad you could be here for the ride. How this show we'll give a short little introduction of the show right now. So basically what this show is all about is, like I said, to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Game Show Network. That's really what we're doing around here. So this will basically be like a talk discussion type show. It won't be like the documentary style you saw for the ABC version of the show about a year and a half ago at this point. Yeah, because it aired after the first season of Jeopardy Masters. So yeah, that would have been 2023 spring. So yeah, so we're gonna have a discussion topic to talk about every episode. This will last 6 episodes. Or we're gonna do it every Wednesday and Thursday from now, and then next Wednesday and Thursday, and then the Wednesday, Thursday after that, and then we might do the Friday one, the 20th, just as like a special ending thing, I guess you could call it. So, yeah, or maybe even that Sunday. We'll see. We'll see on that. But for sure, every Wednesday and Thursday for the next couple of weeks, we'll have a show on with you all. And then I always want to start out the episode with any kind of game show news or little artifacts before we officially get into the episode. And really, the only game show thing of note I got is we're reducing the amount of episodes this season of the $1 Million Drop Live from 12 to 10. Just these Thursday night things, it's just not going to work for me because I've got school and homework and stuff like that. So, yeah, which is why you only see me go live during the evenings on like the weekends or Friday night or Saturday night because, I've got homework and stuff. I'm still a high school student, so yeah, so that I got to put that first over kind of everything else in my life. So yeah, that's all right. And we're gonna keep our original format schedule and go every Friday for that show, unless a situation were to occur. Then we'll push it to Thursday night. But yeah, that is basically it. That's really only the piece of news I have. I haven't seen really anything else, but that's pretty much how every episode, there we go, of this show will go. We'll start out with some game show news or topics or whatever, and yeah, we'll kind of get started with our main topic for today, which is, well, really, it's the preview of the show is part of it, but I guess I already did that kind of. So yeah, we're kind of gonna now go on to the beginnings of game shows and kind of talk about that. So the very first game show to air anywhere in the world, according to my research, from what I can see, is and it aired obviously on radio. It aired on WNYC radio. It was called the Brooklyn Eagle Quiz on Current Events, and also debuting in the same year, the Pop Question Game. And they both aired on WNYC radio. We're not exactly sure the dates on that, but we know that 1923 was really the first year game shows became a thing in any kind of media. Yeah, in media, obviously it wasn't the first game show like ever, or like a game. And when I say game show, I also mean to like the audience in the studio. So, because you're showing something off to an audience, it's basically what a show is. Whether it's to millions of people or it's to hundreds of people in the auditorium or something like that. That's what a show is. So, yeah. And then game shows, however, didn't really become a common thing until radio started to become more mainstream in the late 30s. The very first game show that aired on radio from from our research was, or well, from my research, it was in 1938 when a couple of shows appeared. It was Information Please, Kay Kaiser's College of Musical Knowledge. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. We had two shows from 1936. Whoops. Uncle Jim's Question Bee and Professor Quiz. There we go. And then the rest of them were pretty much either 38 or 39. Like Dr. IQ, that premiered on radio. If you're a big game show fan like me, you probably have heard of Dr. IQ. It was starring Tom Kennedy, I believe. That was his first game show on TV that he hosted. So yeah, we had Dr. IQ, Information, the two I already mentioned, Pot of Gold, Uncle Jim's Question Bee, and What's My Name? And that was hosted by Arlene Francis. So I guess she could be considered as the first woman game show host. Because, Betty White did Just Men in the 1980s, 83, I believe. And she was the first female on TV. Well, no, actually not. Because there was, I think, Arlene Francis did. Yeah, she hosted an episode of The Price is Right in the 1950s. I remember that. But then she also hosted this show in the 40s for the Dumont Network called Blind Date, too. So, yeah. I think Betty White, though, was kind of the first notable name or the first notable woman in order, to be a game show host, if that makes sense. So, yeah, in 1938, that's when we got our first game show ever to air on TV. Well, in the UK, at least. We're not really sure worldwide. I didn't do enough research on that. Don't hate me. But yeah, the Spelling Bee on the BBC. It was just called Spelling Bee. It was, I think, just from my research, it was just. Although we will look it up right now. Okay. Yeah. So, Spelling Bee. I had to get UK. Yeah. Yeah, radio and TV show. It aired. Yeah, in a TV version, contestants competed again. Yeah. So the first episode was 15 minutes. The second and third episodes were 20 minutes. And the fourth and fifth episodes aired in a 30-minute time slot. And it started on May 31st, 1938 at 10 p.m. So, yeah, there's that. And then apparently there was there was a spelling bee right beforehand for kids that, it was radio. Okay, so it wasn't even that. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, that's the first game show to air in the world from our research. On TV, though, in the U.S., boy, oh boy, there was a contest basically between two. The first one aired on WNBT, which is now WNBC, and then the other one aired the next night on WCW, which is now WCBS. So, Truth or Consequences was the very first U.S. game show on TV. July 1st, 1941. It was like a one-off special type thing, if I remember reading it correctly. And then the CBS television quiz was an actual regular show. That I guess you could say was the first regular game show to appear on TV. And Truth or Consequences, like I said, was just a one-off special. So, yeah, there's some interesting facts right there. That was really how game shows really got their start. And then once the 50s turned around and, there was an uptick in TV sales and stuff like that, then you saw just a ton of game shows, especially in prime time. And then as you got into the mid 50s, of course, you had some scandal with quiz show scandals with 21 and The Big Surprise, $64,000 question. I think the $64,000 challenge was also rigged as well. Pretty much all. So was Tic Tac Dough. That was rigged too. Pretty much all the game shows that had big cash prizes, like obviously now it's not, it's pretty common to see a game show on TV giving away six figures as a top prize. I mean, you can list a whole bunch of them. Press Your Luck. Well, just on ABC alone, Press Your Luck. What was the one that aired over the summer that got? Oh, Lucky 13. Millionaire, that when they brought that back. Claim to Fame, although that's more of a reality competition show. That's still $100,000 grand prize though. When it was on, Supermarket Sweep, Card Sharks. Let's see, on Fox, you got Beat Shazam. This summer, The Quiz with Balls. I Can See Your Voice. Name That Tune. I mean, let's see, NBC, you got The Weakest Link. And then I think that's really the only game show they've got. Obviously, they've got more game shows, but they're more like The Voice is 100,000. So yeah, obviously, I mean, they're way. My point is that they're common now, but back in the 1950s, this was like a revelation because now $100,000 in 1955 is worth like over $1 million, like 1.2 or 1.3 million. I checked a couple of weeks ago. Like that's how much it's worth now. So God, just imagine. Holy crap. And they were some of the highest rated, like the $64,000 question was one of the top rated shows. And then I believe in its first full season, it was the top rated show. I mean, people went ham over these shows. And then, of course, they all got found out, and I remember watching a documentary. The $64,000 question went from the number 1 rated show to the number 74 rated show. And hell, Dotto scored the highest ever daytime ratings, which I'm assuming still stands today, because in that same documentary, I believe Jack Nars even said that, because he was hosting Dotto at the time, that it was the highest rated show ever in daytime. So that's a pretty big accomplishment, because they had pretty much brought all that big money to daytime. So yeah, and then like I said, they all got found out. So yeah, and then hell, that was pretty much the end of game shows until Password came around, and because it was only the most you could get out of Password at the time was less than $1,000 when it premiered in daytime and nighttime. So yeah. And like the panel shows like What's My Line, I've Got a Secret to Tell the Truth, they kind of hit a downfall, kind of, because of the game show scandals. Like To Tell the Truth premiered just as that was happening. So yeah, but it was the lower stakes panel shows that really took the cake in terms of ratings after that, even though they almost were killed off. But with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in 1999, big money game shows, woo, skyrocketed. Now, in fact, there's going to be a whole show dedicated to prize money on game shows, and that'll air next Wednesday. So yeah, it'll be every Wednesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time for this week and throughout the next 2 weeks. And I have a 6th episode planned. I'm not sure exactly when that is going to air, but it'll air after Thursday the 19th. We know that. And I'm trying to hopefully we can get it in before Christmas too. That's my hope. Although we could do it the day after Christmas too. Yeah, we might do that. Yeah. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to try and make these shows 15 minutes or less, but for some of these topics, they might take a whole lot, because I've got a lot on my mind and stuff, so they might be a little longer, like maybe 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, but anyway, thank you all so much for watching. We're going to conclude this show with how we started off with the celebrity dating game theme from 2021, which actually wasn't as bad as people thought it was. But yeah, so good night. Stay tuned for 1,000 Heartbeats right here on RVN.